We were, as I had said earlier, formed up into a squadron in Lewiston, Maine, and I had a friend who was in the Navy Reserve in Portland, Maine, and he was very interested in flying. So I got the CO's permission to fly to Portland Municipal Airport and landed the Corsair there. And he said to me, "John, for years I wanted to fly in a Corsair. Can I go up with you?" Well, difficult. Corsair is a single-seater fighter, so I figured out the best thing to do was for him to sit down and for me to sit on his lap. That way I could reach the controls, and so that went very well. It took off, we flew around, and then came the time to land, and I had to figure that one out, because when you land, as you know, you've got to go to the stall, which means I had to pull the stick back quite into my head. I nearly castrated myself. I don't think I'm going to do that again. My carrier, HMS Formidable, was built in Northern Ireland, the same shipyard that built the Titanic. Anyway, it was beautifully built. I mean, the workmanship, you wouldn't believe it. And it was almost built like a passenger ship. Have you got a picture of the bar?
The Formidable, yeah.
The bar.
Oh, the bar. The important part of the ship.
Important things. We had the best bar. The Royal Navy is wet, fortunately. We had the best bar in the Navy. All mahogany, went halfway across the ship. And there was a side note here. It's called Liquor and Longevity. It says the horse and mule live 30 years, and nothing known of wine and beers. The goat and sheep at 20 die, and never taste of Scotch or rye. The cow drinks water by the ton, and at 18 is mostly done. The dog at 15 cashes in without the aid of rum or gin. The cat in milk and water soaks, and then in 12 short years it croaks. The modest, sober, bone-dry hen lays eggs for nogs, and then dies at 10. All animals are strictly dry. They sinless live and swiftly die. But sinful, ginful, rum-soaked men survive for 3 years and 10. And some of us, mighty few, keep drinking to a 92. The US Navy lets them have a tradition of, this is the carrier's deck, coming in astern to land. And that doesn't work too well with the Corsair because it's got this huge snout sticking up. And in those days, it wasn't fly-by-the-wire. You had a deck landing officer go up, go down, put on more gun. No, this is put on more gun, or that's because you're going too slow. So it's essential to see the deck landing officer. And coming in astern, you couldn't possibly see that. So it actually wrote off quite a few US Navy pilots, to say nothing of the planes. And after that, they thought, well, we don't want this plane, we'll give it to the Lionist. And we got it under Lend-Lease, and we did a lot of positive thinking about it, and decided that the way to land was not to come in the stern, but to come in like that, so you could see the deck landing officer. And just when you got the cut, almost at the last moment, you cut and plunked it down, straightened up and plunked it down. And we did 500 deck landings without even a burst tire. I think there were some questions asked in Washington after that.
Oh, John, you're a braggart.
The RAF is referred to as the RAF. And they say in the RAF that the landing's okay. If the pilot gets out, can still walk away. But in the Fleet Air Arm, the prospects are grim if the landings are poor and the pilot can't swim.
John, what he thought of the Corsair as an airplane to fly?
Quality.
Fantastic plane. It was the best Navy plane fighter, of course. We had 2 Corsair squadrons on my carrier and 1 Avenger squadron. All I know is when you got on the Corsair, to make it streamlined, there's a thing there you push your foot in to get a leg up. And when you push the feet, there were all these girls' names and phone numbers, which was very handy.
Other questions?
What squadron?
1842. That's 1842 and 1841. On that. The after-house commanding officer, Judy Garland, was killed very early in the conflict. The commanding officer, Lieutenant Commander Parker, who was the CO for 1841 squadron, the other Corsair squadron, he became the CO for both squadrons. We've seen the Royal Navy wings. Unlike the US Navy, we wore them on our sleeve above the gold braid.
Thanks a bunch. John's been looking forward. Just come up here and talk to you.